Okay, hey everybody, welcome. So I have Instagram and Facebook also beautifully aligned. So I'm so grateful that I'm able to do this. So I was supposed to do it yesterday. It's okay. I had this beautiful rejuvenation day with these amazing holistic nutritionist slash biohacking wellness urban retreat. It was so amazing. It was so replenishing, rejuvenating. I did infrared sauna. I did isolation tank, sensory deprivation tank. I did movement. I was a student, so I was being guided to do movement. There was nutritionist smoothie bowls. There was a point where we were getting a massage. There was space to, it was just beautiful. I really needed that. So that was amazing. So thank you so much for coming on here. I really appreciate it. This is my Facebook page over here, and this is my Instagram. So I'm really honored. We're just going to break down a few things. I have some handy dandy notes over here. We're going to be talking about accountability and what that looks like and how that's showing up, how that requires you to show up as your best self every single day and what that means. We're going to talk about some breath work. We're going to talk about some tools that you can use and take with you on your day-to-day life and in your day-to-day life. And we're talking, and there's some homework that I'm going to give you about what it means to not feel bad and how to extract guilt and shame from your consciousness. This is bothering me. Hold on. I feel like, okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, so if you see behind me, this is my logo. Well, it's not my logo actually. It just means my page, Conxcious Productions. On Instagram, it's sort of showing it opposite, so it looks like PC. But this isn't no president's choice. But on Facebook, it's fine. So it's Facebook. So this is supposed to be Conxcious Productions. So I'm Nunu. For any of you who's new here and aren't familiar, I'm Anoushka. Some people call me Nunu. When I'm on stage, I do poetry, not as much. I'm focusing more on the holistic healing side. So when I am on stage, I usually say Nunu. So a lot of people, you'll hear that name come up. I am a meditation integration coach. So what that means is I help people integrate meditation into their day-to-day life. Specifically people who are just coming into their awakening. So what do I mean by awakening? I mean, if you're waking up these days and you've had a sense of philosophical awareness that's expanded in your heart, in your mind, and in your aura, like it kind of would be like, what the fuck am I doing on earth kind of thing. There should be more than this daily routine that I have kicked in, or there is something that's allowing me to call up my purpose. So if that's someone that's like you, my sessions and my services are catered to you. Second, for people who are very third eye open, so are very familiar with the energy chakras. I said chakras like a Canadian, but it's actually chakras. It's okay. It's all good. And so some people who just tend to be really third eye open. And what I mean by that, if you don't know what that means, then you're probably on the other side of the spectrum. So it's no worries. You'll learn that should you join in on a program with me. So for people who have their ajna really open and don't know how to integrate their visions, their purpose into reality. So I know plethora of different clients who are very familiar with all the work that I'm doing, but they're so disconnected with their earth physical body. So they don't know how to bring their magic, all of the stuff that they've been experiencing in the ethers, into earth. And that's where I come in. I help you teach yourself how to do that. And that's my goal, to feel empowered from inside. So the tools that I give you are expanding your toolkit. Okay, so these are supposed to be done on Saturday, but we're doing it on a Sunday because, the thing is consistency. So I'm here and I'm showing up. This is also going to be up on YouTube. So if you're coming in between halfway, not sure what I'm talking about, it's okay. This is going to be up on YouTube. So we're going to be talking about accountability. So to change, one thing that I really want to highlight, well, I'm going to highlight many things, but one thing in particular for now is change. I want the theme is coming up for different people in my life, for my clients, for my friends, for myself, and so I'm bringing it to you. What does change feel like for you? I want you to, maybe if you have a pen and paper, and if you're interested, definitely grab a journal or like on your phone and write out, when you expect change, what do you expect from change? And how do you define it? Because whatever we expect in life, we receive. Whatever we expect in life, we receive. Now, what I mean by that is, so someone might say, well, I'm expecting to have $300 in my bank account tomorrow and it's not there. So what do you mean? So what I mean by that is, do you truly allow yourself, hey, hi, aw, squishy butt. Okay, so what I mean by that is when you are allowing yourself to be very open to the fact that change is natural and change is occurring, then you're going to have certain expectations of what you want in your life. You're going to have certain expectations for what kind of standards you want in your life. So accountability to change is so important as part of my program that I promote, because when I was doing one-off sessions, people 3 months later would come back with the same fucking problem. And I'm like, bro, we talked about this. No, I'm joking. I would never do that. I would never do that. But I would hold space for them to understand that this is the same situation, right? And you, me as a facilitator, I have to show you how this is the same cycle, because all of our life is in cycles. We are in cycles. We come in Fibonacci sequence. So if you're not familiar with what a Fibonacci sequence is it's that everything is related to the sacredness of our life. Everything's connected. Right? So there's like circles within circles within circles that all relate to the same thing. So we're all just one big fucking Venn diagram. We're all just one fucking big Venn diagram. What the hell? Okay. So when you're holding yourself accountable to change, I need you to know, like in this program, we are focusing on that, because if you're not holding space to welcome change in the way that you want, if you're not holding space for things that you really want, it requires change. It requires you to change your belief system. It requires you to add, subtract, and divide. It requires you to ask questions like, am I able to handle this? Right? And those are, I feel like to a certain extent that happens in our daily thought process. If it doesn't, this is the kind of work that we do in my program. So we have like a few days left. The 30th, it's going to be ending. I have 4 spots available. My pen just flew away. And this is the kind of work that we're holding space for. Now, one thing I want to address is so important. I keep saying that one thing I want to address, but there's a lot of things I want to address. So, I want to let you know that where I'm coming from as a human, as a human soul experience. I was attending a yoga meditation circle with one of my mentors, and she made us do this intense breath work. For any of you who don't know what I'm talking about intense breath work, you need to show up if you're in Toronto to these events, because she will just make you look at your shit. Okay, so I will put the link below for her work. Her name is Rachel Fallon, if you haven't heard of her. Anyways, so we did this intense breath work, and I got to a point where my breath was restricted. I got to a point where I felt like I was going to drown when I was just doing this really casual breath work. And that was really scary to me. That was really scary to me because I was trying to, like breathe. I was trying to, should I make it, okay. Okay, so I was trying to be really in my body, be available to show up for myself. And when you really and truly show up for yourself, like really show up for yourself, you're gonna see some drastic changes. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Okay, so this leads me to the question of what does showing up for yourself look like? So if you didn't watch my last Facebook post, Facebook on my Facebook page, but also on my Instagram. If you didn't watch that, go read the fucking description and go watch that video, because it's talking about the similar stuff. It's talking about exactly what we're saying. What does change look like for you? Okay. And I want you to hold space to welcome that. What would that look like to incorporate that in a day-to-day basis? What would that look like to incorporate it in a week-to-week basis? What would that look like to incorporate on a year-to-year basis? And what is your goal? What are your desires? So that is the shit. That is the stuff. That is where all the magic happens. So I really wanted to come on here to share that, because this breath work had me so in my fucking feelings. And I was stuck, and I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack right now. Like I literally felt like I was going, like there was, I realized that I hit a boundary of comfort for myself during this breath work. And after the 2 or the 3 or the 4 days, I felt lost. I felt so lost in my reality. I felt so confused. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't know why I was doing what I was doing. I don't know why. Like, it's so interesting. I have a really powerful purpose on earth. I feel like once I'm in the flow, I felt like I was out of my flow. So once I was in it, like I know what I'm doing, how it comes, how it's going to show up, and all these different things. But when I was triggered in that way, I just lost all hope in life. I'm like, woe is me. Like, what is going on? Why do I feel so terrible? Why do I feel like this? And I've done a lot of work on myself. And this is the kind of tools that I use to teach people how to extract guilt from ourselves. Because there was a space that I could have felt really guilty and gone into a looping thought pattern. A looping thought pattern. That's the next thing that we're going to talk about. Let me write that fucking thing down. Where'd my pen go? Anyways, somewhere, I'm not sure where it is. But so when you don't have purpose, when you lose your sense of purpose, it can feel really daunting. It can feel like you have no ground, no root chakra. And so in these spaces, in incorporating space of softness, incorporating space of feminine flow, because sometimes we don't know where the flow is going to happen, and that's okay, and that's totally fine. I'm here to tell you that it is totally fine. Okay? Because what's going to show up is you're clearing space to welcome what you really want. You're neutralizing the space to welcome what it is that you really want in your deepest desires. Blessings, welcome. And so with that, I'm going to ask you, how do you navigate when you have a thought pattern, a looping thought pattern? So these looping thought patterns can be really dangerous and really fucking energizing. Because these thought patterns can allow you, because we move in cycles. We are cycles. Our life is a cycle. Everything you do in your life is a cycle, whether it's good, bad. That's where the Fibonacci and the sacred geometry comes in. And that's what I also teach in my program about being aware and heightening your awareness to these cycles, because cycles aren't bad, right? Cycles are actually healthy and happy. Healthy, happy, and some are bad depending on how you want to live your life. So I want to ask you, when you have a looping thought pattern, how do you feel? What kind of emotions come up? How does your body feel? And how can you hold space for a thought pattern that promotes you in your purpose? Sometimes I feel like there's a really negative connotation on looping thought patterns, but we are all sacred geometry. So any thought will lead to another thought that can promote the reality that you want to live. So it's just a matter of learning how to ride the wave of the reality that you do want. So looping thought patterns, they're healthy. They're healthy and needed. And I'm going to show you how to get out of a negative thought pattern. Every time I say negative thought pattern or looping pattern, I always think of the infinity symbol, and that's why it promotes me to suggest how healthy thought patterns are and looping patterns are. So to get out of a negative looping thought pattern, what you require is that breath work. Okay? When you're in a space, you're like, holy shit, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. My life sucks. What the fuck? Why are we doing this? Why am I doing this? Why does this keep happening to me? Why does this keep happening to me? Why does it keep happening to me? All of this stuff is going to bring your vibration down. It's going to bring it like, kind of like, you know, when you're on Street Fighter and like your energy level's going down, that's that kind of shit that this negative thought loop pattern will bring you down. So, with that, holding space for breath work is so important. Now, sometimes some people might have trauma and breath work might be really intense for them. So I'm going to encourage you just to see when you're in that space, first identifying, holy shit, I'm going through a fucking vortex here. Okay, I'm going through a thought loop pattern. First is identifying the situation. The fact that you know that you're going through this is going to help you get out of it, right? So when you know that, that's how you're going to realize that it's happening. Okay, Anoushka, now how do I know that it's happening? Well, it's happening when you have to pay attention to the small micro thoughts. Let me rephrase that. Small thoughts that bring your energy down. I paused for a reason. Small thoughts that bring your energy down. These thoughts can and will and most likely are connected and rooted to other low vibrational thoughts, right? So when you are identifying a thought pattern, a looping thought pattern that doesn't support you, instead of hating yourself and being like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Like, holding space for knowing that that's the feeling that you feel. Someone once told me, Beyonce allows herself only to feel bad one day. And I kind of like that. I kind of like it. It's her vibe. That's what she wants to do. I like the idea of her giving herself permission to get in and out of the feeling bad. And that is huge because you get to have a choice to feel bad. You get to have a choice to how long you want to feel bad for. You get to have a choice for how you get to turn feeling bad around. And that's what she's doing. By giving herself only one day permission to feel bad, she's allowing herself to go in her emotions. She's allowing herself to honor that there's some parts that need work on her. She's allowing herself to dive so deep into herself so she can be better and bigger and her best self. So I really love that she does that. And it's also teaching herself how to come out of a funk, because that in itself is a process, how to get out of a funk. Because if you don't know how to get yourself out your fucking negative looping patterns, guess what? It's gonna accumulate into years. It's going to accumulate into a sickness or a dis-ease, because your body is reflecting your thoughts. Your body is reflecting your aura. Your body is reflecting your purpose. Your body is showing you, yo, I have a bigger purpose. I have a bigger purpose that I'm supposed to be here for, and I'm not exemplifying it. So I'm gonna react. Okay? So with that, I am going to talk about, I had a download when I was at the retreat yesterday. The download was that our aura has light code. Our aura has symbols that it reflects. So if you think of a what are they called? Hallucinogens? No. When there's like a projection, hologram. Okay, think of a hologram, okay? And so imagine you have a film of hologram. Does this make sense? You have a field, okay, that goes around you. All right, and it goes around you, this beautiful film, and in this film has these symbols, all these different symbols. Now, all these different symbols reflect your past life, reflects your current life, reflect your strengths, your struggles, reflect what energy you're in. And these symbols are so particular to your inscription, kind of like how a computer central processing unit is unique to each of its own computers. That's just like it. And if a computer is not unique to its own, then ignore that example because it's not relevant. So what I essentially mean is that these light codes are so powerfully reflected through our experience as a human. And so when we're interacting with a being, you can actually pick up on other people's light codes. This is the kind of work that I teach you in my program. So what it includes is daily audio coaching. So I have clients asking me questions about change, about healing. Like we're going in on these fucking voice notes, okay? And then you have your 2 sessions that are monthly. I keep wanting to say bi-monthly, but it's monthly. You get 2 sessions full on where we go in deep. We check in and see what's going on. How are you doing? What do you want to work on? Now, the 7-month is consistency, is my accountability to you, is my accountability to me being a mentor to you. It's telling you, listen, you signed up to show up for yourself. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to make fucking sure you're showing up to yourself. And if you don't, we're going to talk about it because there's a reason why you're not showing up for yourself. Which leads me to my next point. Are you showing up for yourself? What does it mean when you know better but are choosing to show up less than? What does it mean when you know that you can do so much more for you but you're not doing it? Now, I want you to take this moment. Yeah, we're going deep into this because I want to talk about the elephants in the room. I want to talk about why you aren't where you want to be. And the emotions, the feelings that are attached to that. Because in the physical 3D reality, you might not be there. But in some form of reality, it exists already. You being exactly where you want to be, how you want to be, how you want your life to be set. And as that's being built to welcome that in your 3D reality, it's important for you to really take time. Take time to know what it is that you want. What it is that you want. I'm not available for a life where I'm just living a routine life and with no actual oomph and purpose and love. And that's what I'm here to provide for you. I'm here to provide a space for you to look into yourselves, to welcome more love, more purpose, so you can really, truly live life. This is my utmost desire for you, is to truly, truly live life. It feels so good to say and share. Thank you so much for paying attention and being present and committing to yourself. Like, this is so important for me to share my tools with you and you and you and you, because this is where the magic is. This is where we get to do our inner work, and I want to support you on that inner work. It's my job to support you on that inner work. It is, because what I don't want you to stay stagnant in patterns that you don't want. Or I want you to, you're doing great in your life and you want to do better. That's where my 7-month program comes in. So it's $777 a month, Canadian. It's online. The sessions are online, and you get access to my events online and in person if you're in the Toronto area for now. So I'm definitely going to encourage you to reach out. If anything of what I said is really resonating in your soul, I want you to book a free exploration call with me. I want you to see if this is going to be a good synergy for us. I want to show up of how I can help you, and I want you to put your money where your mouth is. I want you to put your money where your fucking mouth is, because I want you to do better, and I want you to fucking level up, and you could do it. So with that being said, last comments that I'm going to say is, when you continuously stay in the pain, you are going to go into a thought pattern of potential. You're going to go into a thought pattern that's struggle, okay? I was going to sugarcoat it, but I'm not sugarcoating it, because when you do the work that I'm doing right now, you will need less of a time to feel bad. Sometimes you're going to need, what do I mean by that? Is that what I mean? What I mean by that is, sometimes you won't stay in the struggle that long. You might be so open to wanting to do better, be better. At the same time, you're also going to give yourself that time to heal and that balance of how that works. Okay? This is not about struggling in your pain. It's about loving your pain. It's about loving the strenuousness of it, and knowing that there's so much more that you can do. There's so much more that we can do. There's so much more. There's so much more. There's so much more. For example, when I was in my struggle a few days ago, I was like, I don't know what's going on with my life. And I'm still recovering from that. But at the same time, I took tools that I'm using, that I'm going to teach you, on how to clear that stagnancy, on how to clear the uncertainty. Because there's certain things that I still don't know, but there's certain things that I do know. And I do know I came here for a fucking reason. I do know I came here to be a leader, and I do know I came here to share my gifts as a philosopher, as a mentor, as a teacher, as a believer in you. And that is why I am putting these lives up, to show that I believe in your awesomeness. I really do. And I'm only be able to do that because I believe in myself. All right, beings. Thank you so much for showing up. Nunu is over and out. We are listening to Ness. Music is
my main bitch. I'm against it, the world with me. Now it's mine to check the world with the full clip. A fully loaded brain has bare fake bitch, bare kids. I don't take escalators, skip stairs to the stair bitch. Physical, medical, radical, biblical, place, typical. My beats and my bitches, I fuck on my place. Style a stack of riches, flip it up twice. Cut them up deep and I stretch them up right. The tongue game is weighing a ton on your membrane. But I ain't about a ton of fucking with your son. Yeah, you know I fuck off even harder on my Lolia. Yeah, you know I'm a freak of the week, as a freak of these beats, as a ghost ski ski, as a work of a deep release. I'm a heat, cause I'm also sweet, cause I'm Naz 93.
Hey.
And you know me. I am the champ, do not fuck with me. I would not test me if I were you. I'm a life bitch, so I'm a ridicule.
Peace.